What a surprise. No one saw it coming. AGO could not win the game of Counter-Strike with 300 ping. And indeed, Space Soldiers, a team that would have won perhaps even on ordinary ping, win. That is going to be fun to break down. Chad
Let's
is
keep the
joining
music
me.
going. This is just a dance break, everybody. Get up, out your chairs, off your couches, and be dancing, because we've got another game of rubbish Counter-Strike coming up, and the observers, even they had a hard time because everyone's just running around like Muppets. If you can't observe Counter-Strike because people are just running all over the map, it's not Counter-Strike that is easy to digest and then dissect and then tell you guys what happened. Here's what happened. Space Soldiers just went, thanks for coming.
Yeah, okay. Nothing to talk about for this game. So instead, 90s crazes. I have a real
Henry
interesting
really
one.
touched on that one.
He's covered it. He's covered the bases quite well. I mean, I was a little too young for yo-yos.
Oh, you were? We can go to two. You guys are a bit younger than me, so
I think I can't be a part of this discussion.
What was kind of your? I can imagine was it different crazes over in?
We really shouldn't talk about the 90s in Serbia.
Yeah, I'm aware that it was different, but that you still had things going on at school. Oh, hang on. He's going to make a really edgy joke no matter what I say here.
Yeah, it was avoiding the bomb.
Yeah, there it is.
Were there any toys or anything that you were up to? Like?
Yeah, down coated shells.
What if we pick
Next
something
question.
else? What if we pick something else? What if we go with cartoons of the late 90s, early noughties?
Okay.
Now, when I was in school, Pokemon was the biggest.
I did watch Pokemon.
I was coming up. Pokemon was the wake up every day.
Ketchum turning his hat backwards.
I'd watch on Cheese TV.
We didn't have Cheese TV.
Dragon Australian.
Dragon Ball was
yeah,
your
you're in the
thing.
next gen. And there was a bridge of Yu-Gi-Oh, wasn't there?
Yu-Gi-Oh! I did Yu-Gi-Oh! I had all the cards.
Yu-Gi-Oh and Dragon Ball were...
Yeah. I remember giving my Blue Eyes White Dragon away.
Yeah, you told this story the other day.
I did.
Can you tell the viewers at home?
Well, I had a friend called Harvey. He was cool. He had a drum kit. I bought a drum kit because I wanted to be as cool as Harvey. Played drums a bit. Wasn't very good at it. He also gave me advice on my Yu-Gi-Oh! Collection. I had this Blue Eyes White Dragon. He was there upon my realization that I got a cool card, and then he offered me like 24 cards. And he was like, "Look, dude, I'll give you 24 of these. There's some really cool ones in there." He showed me them, and I was like, "Wow, yeah." So we swapped. We swapped 24 for one. I was like, "Maths. I know maths.
Yeah.
24 is much bigger than one. Deal." Later transpired that was not only the rarest, the most expensive, and the best card in the game.
Are you still friends with Harvey today?
He came. He did. He came over my house when he was touring Europe when I was in
Wait, so you're
Germany.
still friends with Harvey?
Yes, the wound is still there.
I couldn't be friends with someone if they
He came over. We hung out in Germany, and I didn't mention it once.
I have a bad story like that. I had a RuneScape account, and then there was two of us and we were playing all the time. So like we decided it would be a good idea to share the same account so we could like pool all of our resources.
Smart,
yeah. And then the password got changed.
Was this a friend in real life?
Yeah, like a school friend. And then the password got changed to the account.
Now, what did you say to your school friend upon realization of this?
It's beyond words at that point.
So here's what happened. It gets deeper. I go to school the next day. I'm like, "Mate, did the password get changed?" And he's like, "Oh, look, I don't know. I wasn't playing, da-da-da-da." So then we go back the next day. We like retrieve the password. We got the stuff. And then all of the gear is gone.
You got hacked.
Yes, but it was just him. He just took it all and put it on his own account. So I got stooged.
Got hacked.
So I'm no longer friends with Todd.
Todd? Of course he's called Todd.
Todd and Harvey.
Yankee, you got one of those stories?
Nah, not really.
No?
Okay.
What about your Counter-Strike skins? They get stolen? And
Jason never stabbed you in the back?
And Jason ever stabbed you in the back?
He didn't really stab me. He did like, I think it was the first tournament I actually did with him, or the second one. It was the Dubai one. I was still observing, and we were roommates. And it's one of those fancy hotels in Dubai, right? It's the key card, the power starts, all of that fun stuff. So he's going to meet like Anders or something, and I'm showering, and he pulls out the key card and
walks
out.
No.
So you're in the dark.
Yeah, to this day, he's pretending like, "Oh, yeah, it was an accident. I didn't realize, you know, like the power
How do you not
shut
realize
down
someone's in the shower?
or whatever." No, he didn't realize like that the power was out or something along those
Okay.
lines. And I'm like, "Okay, Jason, he's still paying for that."
Yeah, he should
mishap.
be. That sounds absolutely unforgivable.
I don't know why anyone would do something so horrible to a friend and a colleague.
No, yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Well, we
no.
weren't really friends back then, just colleagues, but...
I mean, I had a similar scenario, but on the other side of things, actually on the positive spectrum. Well, I mean, positive, negative. Some would say it's negative, actually. I had a colleague, actually. Chad was his name. Australian Counter-Strike professional player.
I still don't know how he got away with this.
So
this is some, like, This is something you do to your enemy
Hold
on
up,
purpose.
do we have to...
Do you know what? Let's open the forum actually, because our casters are here as well, and Henry was actually part. He was part of
I
this
think
story.
the story going to be mentioned.
Do you know where I'm going with this?
Yeah, this is a little-known story happening in a certain part of North America.
Vegas, actually, I think.
Vegas, that's the one.
That's it, right?
What
Yeah.
happened?
So I'm so glad you asked, Lauren. We had all kind of celebrated after a good DreamHack Masters.
Wait, hold up a second.
Long event. We did a really good job.
Hold up. Isn't it what happened in Vegas stays in Vegas?
Okay, so moving on. What happened there was is we'd celebrated Vegas party. We hadn't had a chance to party too much, and I have been told 20 seconds. So Henry will finish the story off.
And then basically, Alex and I had agreed we were going to meet up with Chad in the lobby once the flight was leaving.
Yeah, like every
so
camaraderie.
Party, Chad would kind of wake us all up, kind of make sure we get there.
Yeah.
So we
Down in the group like normal.
Yeah.
He's shouting from the bleachers.
Alex and I wake up at the agreed time,
Yeah.
which was what, like 8 o'clock. I was like, oh, no message from Chad, must be absolutely fine. Turned out Chad had already gone to the airport without us, left us for dead. We missed our flight.
So you know, like, Lauren,
Chad left you?
Lauren, you've been around esports for a while.
Yeah.
You know when there's a flight and you're kind of checking your phone, you're like, oh, I haven't seen a text from... You know, you typically, like, give them a call.
You give them the call. You give them the call to the hotel. You go to the hotel
Thank you.
concierge. You ask them, hey, can you call my mate?
Yeah.
And they're like, sure, no worries.
And they reciprocate.
And then down the line, you know...
Oh, Nuke.
Oh, time to...
Lovely. just what we
Time
needed.
to throw back. But we found more crazies,
We
didn't
have got some crazy, so we'll go through the pistol first.
Oh,
just
yeah,
to kind
'cause
of
that was
set the
quite
scene.
interesting. That
We've
was
got some
quite
new viewers
interesting.
and stuff again, so
Yep.
we're just going to say 300 ping game. AG are playing from China. They did win the pistol in the first map, though. Will they be able to do it again? Doesn't look like it. All the kills coming in favour of the Turks here, as they'll be finding Toad down to 1 HP as well this round. Oh, well, hold on. We don't know yet. It looks like they got 1 kill at least. That's PHR or
Is it, as you like to say?
Yeah, they've actually got a couple of kills. This could go horribly wrong, but there it is, the low HP tower going down. Furlan and going to try and do what they can here. The bomb not planted, but kill. Oh my goodness. Would they stop?
Stop. Get help.
Well, the bomb is down, remember, so Major should be able to win this one. He's not going to be taking the bait, surely, as CT comes
Run.
in. Oh, he nails the movement. He's done it. There it is.
That squeaky bum time when you jump into the vent.
So we can move on. So we are going to continue our 90s kind of trends here.
And we'd also want to kind of pre-say this as well, as they're doing the little dance. Guys at home, obviously tweet at us at HenryGCSGO and at They Call Me Pansy with if you agree with us, if you remember these things, if you're too young, too old.
Fond memories of the items we're talking about. So moving on to the first topic, you brought this to our attention, one we forgot. So this is why we've got a two-parter here.
Yeah.
Tech decks, for anyone who's not aware, is a very miniature skateboard, almost finger-like. So it was like a fingerboard, we used to call it, or a tech deck was the brand.
Yeah, I think we call them fingerboards, I guess, or like, you know, stuff like that. We didn't really go for the
it was
traditional
basically
name.
a replica of a skateboard, but it's very small. And it was actually, they brought in like big brands, like the big one at the time.
I remember
like
Tony Hawk's had one as well.
World Industries was like the big Flame Boy, and Liquid, I mean the Liquid guy, he's called Flame Boy, and Wet Willy, that was his name, that was the other one.
Oh, yes, you're right.
And then Blind were the other brands. So basically, the big skateboard brands, they'd actually kind of miniaturize them. You can have your skateboard experience, was a massive trend at the time as well. Skateboarding was huge for me. You can
you actually skateboard?
Yeah, I was a massive skateboarder. I used to I was one of those guys who would ask for video cameras so I could go film my skateboarding.
I used to help
there.
record people as well.
Yeah.
Like, there's videos of me doing this shit as well. So
that was the only. We lived in a very small village. There was nothing to do apart from ride bikes and skateboard and stuff.
Yeah.
So skateboarding was huge for us. We did video cameras everywhere. There's still going to be VHS. If I go to
was
my
it like a
loft,
Jackass sort of style thing,
no,
or was it actually like a proper skate
we used to go to like London every weekend to go watch pro skateboarders, and then we'd come back and try and replicate them, right?
Was that down by South Bank at the time?
Yeah, exactly. The PlayStation.
Yeah.
So
God,
South
do you
Bank
remember
and
PlayStation?
Yeah.
That's Xbox now, isn't it?
I don't know. I
think they rebranded it.
As far as I know, House of Vans is the only one surviving.
God.
That is in Waterloo. But yeah, we used to go and watch them, and then we'd come back and be super serious about it. And like we met all our heroes at the PlayStation skate park, come back and record it. And I still can skate. I remember at Gamescom 2 years ago.
Who's your favourite skater?
Eric Costin at the time was my favourite. He was like he rode for the shoe company ES, if you remember those.
I remember,
he was like their poster boy. I think he does Nike SB. But he was like the godfather of skateboarding when we were growing up anyway.
Yeah.
But there you go. That's skateboarding and tech decks covered in one little set.
And you remembered that guy who had the full skate park that you could bring
like, there was
with
the kids. Like, my parents, like we weren't poor or anything, but like my parents were super like tight-fisted when it came to toys. They didn't really see the appeal of they buy you the entry-level thing, right? So I get the tech deck, I'd get like a couple of the skateboards, but all my friends would get like the full skate parks. You could actually get the half pipes, the grind poles, the kind of ramps, the fun boxes. You could get everything. And we would just get the tech deck. I'd go in the house and like, oh, cool, man, I've got this tech deck. Like, oh yeah, I've got one of those just in the back somewhere. And so the whole thing set up. It's like, you got the whole setup? Like, that's not cool, man. Like, you're not even using it. But I had this,
you're not even using
I would be
it.
loving my life right now. But looks like AGO might get around here. It's a 2 versus 2. Engine down to just a Mach 10. AK-47 for Major. Remember, though, this 300 ping is going to be an absolute nuisance to try and get anything done. They are going to be watching the bomb like a hawk, though, of course, as the snatching individuals outside. Somehow doesn't go down there. The ping does affect both teams here, so the cleans won't be clean on either side, I should say. Not kill. The kills won't be clean. And it looks like they're going to win around.
Wow.
To Major.
It looked like Snatchy was AFK at the start. The observer did give us a look at that. I don't know what was going on there, but Major a little confused, a little dazed here. One up in towards Crows. That's a little look. Spray comes in. He can't really get away from it. Good work from Tao. So he's done all right. I'll go on the board. People have asked, do you remember Biker Mice from Mars? Of course you do.
Yeah, cartoons.
Vinny was my jam.
Yeah, Vinny, who's like the
he was
bad
a cool
boy
guy,
one,
yeah.
Yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Biker Mice from Mars. Captain Planet was big for me. Ghostbusters cartoon, Batman cartoon.
The cartoons I thought was sick. They were so good. Like I could watch all of them. I think people want us to host an actual podcast. I mean, sure. I think that's what we're doing now. So
yeah,
enjoy
this is kind of like
this is the pinnacle.
Just cut this into an audio, and you'll be fine.
You'll be golden.
Yeah, cartoons. I guess we can do a little section on that.
We can get to that later because I think the guys on the desk were kind of talking about it. We're doing the full throwback because we're of the age, I guess. And we got to snap bans. I remember these getting banned for me too.
So yeah, I guess they were essentially a piece of cardboard. I think with like. I think it was cardboard. I can't even think what the material would be. Would it be like a plastic?
The inside was like a metal piece. It was literally like a metal
ruler.
really
like flimsy bit of metal.
Yeah, very thin metal ruler, and then it had like the like cloth coating that you'd snap on your wrist.
Yeah.
It'd make the slap sound, and then that was it. I don't know what you're meant to do.
It was a big thing. My dad worked for like NVIDIA at the time. He used to bring them home. Like NVIDIA branded ones, like a big thing for everyone in the world. Everyone was going crazy for them. Essentially, all it did was you just slapped on your wrist and it just stayed there. That was it. Like imagine when I got banned from school because kids obviously.
We were hitting each other with them.
Could you possibly do? Could you do it on your neck? Could that work? Could that be a thing?
Like if there's anything stupid to do with something, it's like right, that's today's lunchtime activity.
Sure.
Get to work on it, but yeah, they got banned pretty swiftly.
That kind of brings on to a question for you, like playground games. You don't like doesn't necessarily need to have an object. Or what was the best playground games for you? Like we had a thing called British Bulldog. I think everyone
that
probably
also
played.
got banned for us.
Yeah, that got banned for us as well. But anyone's not aware, that is a game where you have
amazing.
100 school kids and you have a big playground and you pick 50 either side.
It's a wall of death essentially for kids.
And whoever's the bulldog, he stands in the middle first, and everyone he touches or grabs or rugby tackles if it's a grass pitch, they become bulldogs as well. So you have to cross from one side to the other. If he grabs you become one of them until you have the winner at the very end is the last one. He doesn't get caught, and that causes a lot of injury.
Oh, like people broke their arms playing this game with us.
Yeah,
like,
that got banned
scratches.
quickly for us.
So that was good fun. I don't remember any others. Like, I'm sure if you brought them up, I could probably remember them. But the other one that people have suggested is TY Babies. Do you remember the Beanie Babies?
Oh, Beanie Babies.
They
my
were
sister
a big
was really into those.
I had a few. I had like my lucky one that was like my super rare one because there were super rare ones out there as well. So, and I don't know if they actually were rare. Like I had no way to tell. It's probably some guys just told me like,
actually,
this is a rare one.
That podcast I was telling you about, they've done an episode on it. I've listened to it.
Yeah.
And it is like the thing is like it got overblown. It was such word of mouth before the internet was there that like dealers would actually say like scam people and
dealers, Beanie Baby dealers.
This is the super rare one, bro. Like you need this one, and like people weren't really sure how to evaluate them properly. Yeah. So it was like it was a black market essentially. It was crazy. I remember my friend's like sister had like they converted a room of their house
to her
Beanie Baby collection.
Right?
Like it wasn't even a room; it was just a Beanie Baby collection. They had like those proper glass cabinets, all the best ones in the whole room was full of them. I don't know what happened. Maybe she's a millionaire now. Maybe that's what happened. I don't know.
Furlan apparently is phenomenal with 300 ping and an AWP. Again, if you are just tuning in, you're wondering what the hell's going on, you can see it right there on your screens. It's 300 ping. AGO currently unable to really do much. They're still in China. So obviously, Space Soldiers made it back. AGO took their time coming back out of here. So again, they're going to be just doing what they can. Oh, you hate to see it. Oh, Major feels bad, man. Feels pretty bad. Paz fancies his odds, and he doesn't go much better. 2 rounds to AGO. If this does start getting a bit closer, we will pay full attention to the game, of course. But right now, it's not going to be your regular game of any variety. It's just them doing what they can to get through this without having to forfeit. Now, Jelly Shoes.
Well, understandably, it wasn't a huge thing for me. It was more of like kind of tween
Did you not get
girls.
into that?
No, so I think that if you go out in East London these days, like girls are still wearing them.
You're still going to find them,
yeah.
They're a good throwback item.
Yeah, so they're still a thing. They never left. But yeah, I do remember my sister was into those. They were a big thing. I wouldn't say that was necessarily a craze. I guess maybe it was. It was like a...
Oh, it was a craze.
Yeah.
Craze for
or
the
you had
girls,
like the Adidas like three-line jogging bottoms. Everyone was
But do you remember the ones you could rip?
Exactly,
and
those
someone
hoppers
would
on them.
just like,
yeah. Why was that such a massive deal? Like, Adidas really have owned the game throughout the years, haven't they? They were huge back then, and they're still killing it now. They made a huge resurgence like 5 years ago.
Yeah, because they kind of like slunk away, and I guess
well, the era
Nike
of the
took
Chab,
over.
I think they kind of dropped off. I feel like that's when they kind of disappeared for a bit. But then Kanye West comes along, and this
it's
kind of
like,
revitalizes Adidas all of a sudden. It's back, and it's cool again.
Yep.
Like for me, when I was 20, Adidas was kind of.
Yeah, why are you from the council
it's
states,
like,
mate? What's going on?
Your outfit right now, but now Adidas is kind of accepted as being like a really stylish kind of brand to wear. I can't still bring myself to do it. I'm just like, you know what, that's just
I'm definitely not wearing the shoes right now.
Definitely not wearing the shoes. Chad gave me a pair of Adidas shoes.
Oh, I heard there was a trade involved here.
Yeah, there was a trade, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little trade between two guys.
Two friends, two dudes,
he gave
just
me
hanging out.
2 shoes, and they were too small for him. They're too small for me. They gave me
what
like.
size feet do you have?
We're both size 10 foot, but apparently Adidas is just like, you know what, we're just going to make them a little bit smaller than the usual size 10.
Reasonable.
And it just really, like, they feel good for like the first hour. Like when you try them on the shop, you're like, oh, they're cool. Then like at the end of the day, you take them off, you realize there's blood in your sock. You're like, well, that's
not the dream, is it?
That's not great.
No. 2v2 again though here. Space Soldiers this time at least keeping control of the situation. We're down to PHR. Or what were you calling him? Like foe, but
yeah.
We played Chain, says Nicholas. So if you guys at home want to get your tweet read out and you're not, having awkward names that I can't read on air, tweet us at @BigCommyFansy at HenryGCSGO.
I've got a good one. Do you remember a game like a classroom game called like Slaps, where you put your hands together?
Oh yeah, and then you
do it like that, right?
Yeah,
so you have to like kind of base
that
someone
one,
in.
or
So you do that.
Are you trying to move it?
Dodge it, and then you got a free slap. That was a cool one.
Yep.
There was a bit more hardcore version, maybe the Prison Wars version, where you had like coins you could do.
Oh, and your knuckles would end up like bleeding.
Down, and you'd like slam 2p coins.
That got banned again.
Well, he's never got caught playing that, but I remember one time coming home with like blood
all over the place.
You see that scar?
That's from Knuckles.
That's from that game. That's actually where we used to play it so much. Like, just do that. I used to think, because I got that scar, I could barely feel anything and nothing more. So by year 11, after 5 years of the game, I was a master. I couldn't be hurt. I was godlike.
So you're like, when they train for like the martial arts movies, and the kick in the tree to
exactly,
hard up the shins.
Coins to the knuckles over and over again. You'll get no nerve endings in your hands, and you'll kind of end up ruining it.
Don't do that. Nicholas says we played Chain, where the people running across who got tagged had to link up, creating a big chain of taggers.
That's what's like kind of linking arms, like
and a lot of
spinning
whiplash.
Around. Yeah, that does sound like it would.
That would get banned. That's a quick ban. Also, crack the egg, where one person would. What? Crack the egg, where one person.
From school?
Yeah, I'm not believing that's real. I think he's just made that up. Remember Heelys? They weren't really around at my time.
They were like, we were like kind of university age when they were a thing.
Yeah,
that was like 2006 something.
But I do remember, like, me and my friends set up a skateboard club, which anyone's invited. BMX, aggressive inline was a thing as well. Like I was big into that.
I never was part of the cool side of it. Like I really liked rollerblading when I was like 11 or 12. I didn't really know it was a cool thing to do. I had like the Donny rollerblades from Argos. It wasn't a cool thing. It was my mum asked me for rollerblades. That's what I got.
Entry level.
Yeah, the entry level Donny Argos rollerblades. That's what I got. And I was really good on them. I was like, I thought I was a bit of a boss. I thought I was a bit of a boss. And I got to the skate park and I realised I'm in my Adidas tracksuit bottoms with the 3 lines and these massive rollerblades on. I thought, this doesn't look as cool as I think it does. And I see all like the kind of punk guys, like with the mohawks.
It'd be like the baggy jeans at the time as well, like the mad baggy jeans.
I felt about how to place it, guys, and I don't think I ever went back. So yeah, rollerblades was huge for me. I probably still could rollerblade quite well, I think.
I'm going to actually buy some. That's the thing. I actually want to buy some and see if I can still do it.
Maybe get the quads,
No.
For a proper throwback, you get the big quads out.
I wasn't alive when they were relevant.
Yeah.
But Germans love a bit of it. I have realised during summer, the amount of like middle-aged and upward men who wear very tight shorts and rollerblade is very high.
In the bike lanes, I guess, like kind of.
Oh yeah, they're completely reasonable about it. But I'm just like, that's a real sight.
Yeah.
It's a lot to look at.
Rollerblades, that definitely was a big part. I forgot about this. These are the memories I haven't accessed in my brain for years. So when you brought up skateboarding, I forgot. I was massively into skateboarding. I remembered all of that. I hadn't thought about skateboarding in like a year. So there you go.
God, I remember when BMXing became more of a thing, so just more practical because you can go further.
Yeah.
My friend used to live on this big hill, and obviously, like, I had pegs at the back of mine and on the front. And I did this thing called a Jesus Christ, where you basically stand on just the back pegs of the bike, hands off, and you put your arms out to the side.
Okay.
Down this very steep hill.
Why would that? Like, physics dictate that won't work.
Oh, you can balance it fine.
Really?
Yeah,
you can stand
it
there
actually can balance
down a hill,
perfectly
standing
fine.
up on the pegs.
Yes.
I can't even imagine that working.
Because you've put the seat like in between your legs as well.
Okay, right. So you got that. Okay.
Yeah. So it works. But I think back, I had no fear. Now it's like my neck is gonna break.
Yeah.
Like if it buckles, if it goes over anything, if the tire goes slightly anywhere else, I'm over the handlebars down a hill.
BMXing never really happened for me. I tried to get into it in the second year of uni. Like I eBayed a BMX, I got a really good one. Like I found, like I've been researching it for ages.
Oh, you got into it?
It's a really like famous one. Like it's a really iconic BMX. Yeah, no, I know what a Mongoose is. That was like
Mongoose was like the entry level. I thought your mum was back at it.
It was a really cool one. It's like a really respected brand. I got a really good deal on it. I drove up. I was living in Portsmouth at the time. Drove up, got the BMX, had it for a week, and I was like kind of learning from the internet how to do it all. I was going to be getting into it. Left it outside class one day. I went in to meet my tutor for like 35 minutes, and Portsmouth has got a massive rate of crime. Came out, was chained up. Someone literally on the main street, he's come along with bolt cutters, taken that, and off they went. Never saw it again. And I thought, well, maybe that's a sign. BMXing isn't for me. Just stick to Counter-Strike at this point. Tried to do the outside thing, but it didn't really work out for me. Then I just had to walk the class.
Oh, that's gutting. So do you remember that blue smartphones were apparently banned because they
they made you go crazy sort of thing?
Yeah, that was a rumor. Also, do you remember like the jelly bracelets you'd have?
Sure.
As a kid, I think this is definitely my era. I remember that each color of the bracelets indicated a different activity of an intimate nature.
Shag bands, I think we call it, right?
Yes, and if you broke one, you had to do it.
Yeah.
Like if like someone just ran up to you and broke, it's like, well, that's see you later.
I guess the transaction's complete.
Yeah,
We're doing
that's it. We'll watch Buffy and then, it's business.
Buffy.
I remember my first boyfriend, Tom, poor guy. We went around his house and, I was very young, bear in mind. This is not like proper first boyfriend.
23.
Yeah, of course. And he had a Buffy poster up, Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Okay.
And I told him to remove it from the wall because I felt jealous. So, and he did it. So, I mean.
Wow, that's...
Yep.
That's out there. Like, you know what? This piece of paper with a printing of a human on it, I'm jealous.
Get it away.
I'm
if
jealous.
If you loved me, you wouldn't need her.
Yeah. Ouch.
Yep. It's a great time. Maybe we didn't last.
Right, what else have we got?
I'm having a look.
We're really doing well. I forgot how many cool things there were in the 90s. Like, this is insane. You forget about what a fun time it was. Like, now all we get is everyone's just upset all the time and angry and outraged. Like, in the 90s, it's a lot simpler. Like, no one was really upset that much.
No, it was
pretty cool. Everything was pretty.
It was really cool. Like school
you just
holidays
after school,
banging.
go out with your mates. There was no internet to really distract you.
No, you had a good time
with the football, with the bikes, the skateboards, in the woods, kind of running around. Like it was fine. Everything was happy. And then the internet turned up, and although it did do a lot of good things, it has ruined a lot of things as well.
Yeah,
it has turned kids into young adults now as well. Like 14-year-old boys, like in London now, you see the way they dress, the way they act. It's just like when I was 14, I looked like a plonker who was on rollerblades. I just going around, I just trying to enjoy myself. Wasn't trying to be cool.
There was no being cool.
You didn't have to be cool. You didn't have to stay up with someone's Instagram account. You didn't have to try and I have to replicate that. You didn't know what was cool really. You just kind of like
you had your newspaper, a bit of a TV,
your very small ecosystem.
This really tiny area.
I think that's a bit of a shame, people don't have to find themselves.
They lose out on that kind of childhood sort of side of things.
And it's just like, well, I'm going to be that person now from the internet, and it seems like you kind of lose your childhood, I would say.
Yeah, but, I tend to agree. I think it's a real shame that people have to grow up so fast. Like, there's amazing things, like this generation that's like growing up now is incredibly switched on. That's the thing, like they've literally become like such, small adults so quick. But yeah, it's scary. But apparently there was a, I remember this as well, because I thought this was very real. There existed a brown noise. If someone made it or played it, everyone would soil themselves immediately.
There was a South Park episode about that in the early 2000s.
Do you reckon that's why everyone got it?
I think that's what instigated it, but yes, I definitely heard that as well. I've listened to a lot of podcasts on that. I've listened to a podcast on that that explored the idea, they experimented with it, and it showed no results. I think under the right circumstance, if someone really needs a toilet, got a really upset stomach, and you put them on the toilet and do that, it might encourage them. But I don't think there's a sound that can actually trigger. And they definitely put research into it. I think the American military put like millions into finding out whether that could be a weapon. But it never got convincing results. I don't think it was ever officially founded. So there you go. We have got the 13-2 score in. If you're just joining us, wondering what the hell's going on, well, AGO have 300 ping playing from China. So we're trying to just kind of balance it out a little bit. Maybe this is a bit of fun for you. There's no point really casting over and hyping it up. Space Soldiers just wrecked them 16-2 on Mirage. They're going to do the same heroics thing. So hopefully you kind of seen a different side of us and you can kind of experience what it was growing up. For me, I was born in 1988, so I was...
Oh, you're 88?
Yeah, so I was very much alive in the 90s and experienced all these trends and how different life was to what it is now. And I've got a 17-year-old brother, so I've seen everything, how different his childhood has been to mine. Like,
really? Is it that...
You can tell there's a distinct lack of fun. Like the
I think we had like very genuine fun as well.
The pressure to be cool at that age now, it's just so different to what it was when I was a kid. But either way, it looks like this one's coming to a head. We'll kind of talk about it just to close things out here. It's going to be Space Soldiers finding round number 15. It has been nice and quick. At least Engine's having some fun there with the shotgun. Match point coming in is what we expected, so fair play to AGO. They didn't want to take the forfeit and get a fine and all that sort of stuff. No black mark next to their name, and they looks like they'll be absolutely fine. What? I thought it'd be forfeit a game. No? Well, they didn't get any fine. It's like be forfeit. I don't know what the punishment is. I don't know. I thought it was.
They're just fighters.
Well, there you go. I should be correct there. So Yankees point out there is no fine if you forfeit a game. I thought it was. So there you go.
Okay.
Maybe the last round here. Pistols and an upper rush.
But double spray comes in, and it will be 3 players remaining. This should be all but done, and it's been an absolute pleasure, Henry. I think that was a very good start to our podcasting career. If we need a fallback after, obviously, we get fired from this. And yeah, all in all, kind of what we expected.
Yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed that. That's insight to a part of my life I haven't talked about for a very long time. So we'll throw it back to the boys on the desk. Did you enjoy the show?
Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. This podcast is brought to you by Xfinity, our sponsors. But this podcast wouldn't exist without them. So big thank you to Xfinity. It's serious speed for serious gamers. Thanks so much for their help in making this podcast a reality, as well as GameFlip. Let's not forget they sponsored the pre-show of our podcast. And all round, a big thank you to you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for casting. Much love, kisses and cuddles and all of that good stuff. And we'll be seeing you guys tomorrow. That's right, more Pro League tomorrow from some of us, not all of us, indeed. We'll talk about that another time. For now, though, me and Chad and Yanko are going to go ahead and wrap up the day. So the Counter-Strike happened. We're going to go ahead and remind you that, of course, North American Pro League is coming up straight after this one. So do not panic, do not fret, do not fear. More Counter-Strike is coming your way. And this is the North American schedule for you. More SK. They're back in North America and we'll be playing none of that forfeiting nonsense they were pulling out. And Ghost Gaming will be taking on Cloud9.
I think everyone in all of the servers, Alex, will have under 100 ping. Server conditions looking fantastic over in the North American region right now. And SK bouncing back from WSG. No better way to do it than taking on Rogue.
And NRG as well, trying to keep up the form. They did play versus Cloud9 yesterday and trying to do the same now versus Dignitas. This is a wrap-up of today, though. These are today's results. Yanko will be breaking it down for you. It's that NIP result really does just jump out at it. 16-2.
Yeah, very dominant win for NIP to start off the day, but Hellraisers managed to bounce back on the second map, Cobblestone, and even out the series. We saw Navi being very dominant against Envy. We were wondering which Navi are we going to see, and yeah, those were the 2 games for the day.
Yeah, and then the night ended.
Yeah, and that was the end of that. Yes, indeed. 2 games of Counter-Strike, Navi, Envy, and NIP Hellraisers went down today. Those were the 2 games of Counter-Strike played. For now, though, we will say goodbye, and we'll bid you adieu until tomorrow. North American guys will be joining you, though, so don't you move a muscle, and they'll be right back here at the Xfinity Analyst desk. See you tomorrow.